This podcast contains content that may be distressing to some listeners. Be sure to check the description below for content warnings. And now, a poem.
Before we begin, a soft reminder. This episode holds weight, tread kinder, of loved ones lost, in hearts that ache, of lockdowns and fear, the memories they make. Take care of your soul, pause if you need. Your well-being matters, in thought and in deed.
But I was leaning on the escalator and I just passed out. But I kept going and fell off of it onto my head.
Oh my God.
Over the side?
Over the side. As it was going
How far up were you?
I don't know.
Hi, friends. Welcome back. Glad
Hello.
you're here. Also, I love your hair. Looks great.
That person right there, yeah, you right there. I like your sweater.
Ooh.
It's nice.
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
kind of cold right now. It was snowing today. I was really excited about that.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, okay, on my way to work, it was pelting me with snow. Oh, no. Home from work.
I was going to say, pelting you, that's more hail than snow.
Yeah, it was kind of mini hail a little bit. It wasn't hard as a rock or anything, but it was really tiny. It looked like couscous.
I don't know if it shows up on camera. I have to not smile as much today
Oh,
because of the
yeah.
cold weather.
Why does this happen to you every year?
Okay,
It's this, and it's not even, okay, so let me preface.
I split
Jordan
my lip. Is what
he
happened.
split his lip,
Yeah.
and you can kind of see it in the center here, but he gets it in the same spot every year, the same exact spot. Not a little bit to the left, not a little bit to the right, the same line. I don't know if it's just scarred but not permanently healed, and
It
so
might
that's
be
why
that.
it splits every
I'm
year.
going to be honest. I have a chronic problem of biting my lip in
Yes, you
the inner
do.
gums around my mouth. I just
know,
do that.
and I have to constantly be
Yeah.
like, stop, you're going to hurt yourself.
And every time this year, because it's getting cold and it's makes your skin dry and everything.
Yeah.
It dries out my
That
lip.
chapstick I bought you, though, is really good.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
the
It's so
Sunbum
tasty.
watermelon
It's
one.
watermelon flavored.
And it's
love it.
buttery smooth. It's so
It is.
good. That's a really good one.
It really helps. Also, I heard, I don't know if this is a myth. I
What'd
think
you
it's a
hear?
myth that chapstick inevitably makes your lips drier, so you buy more chapstick.
I wouldn't put it past chapstick companies.
I have no proof of this. It is
Purely
I-
speculation?
yeah, it's just my speculation.
I was going to say
Yeah.
purely spectacular.
Mhm. But I really enjoy the taste of it when it has fun flavors. Not
Yeah,
that
so we were joking, anytime Jordan laughs for the next 20 or whatever minutes, he has to go ho, ho, ho.
It hurts to laugh because
Because it just splits
it
more.
just splits it more, and then
Quit smiling. No, I'm kidding. So you make fish lips?
I don't know. I'm trying to do the opposite of smiling.
And that's fish lips? Yeah, that's what they teach you when you're talking about emotions in preschool.
Yes.
There's happy and there's fish lips.
Mhm. I'm going to build a social emotional learning app, and it's just going to be two faces. Faces?
Faces.
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 Happy
And
fish,
Fish
lips.
lips.
Look at them fish lips.
There you go. There's another shirt idea. Happy or fish lips? How do you feel today? Put in the
Why do I-
comments. Do you feel happy today or do you
Yeah.
feel fish lips today?
Yeah, just put a little trout in the
I'm
comments.
sorry. I can't even say fish lips without laughing. It's just a funny
I'm not
word.
going to lie. Fish lips is a funny phrase.
It really is. I kind of want to use it for a code word. Code word fish lips. I'm sorry.
There are fish lips in the punch bowl. Repeat, there are fish lips in the punch bowl.
I don't even know what we're talking about now.
So why are we here today?
We are here today to talk with one of my first social media friends.
I think so.
When I first started on social media, there was a group of teachers that would get on Zoom calls together and just kind of talk with each other and hang out because we were all in quarantine. No one could really hang out in person. So we would get on these Zoom calls together and just kind of like chit chat. But we would be up until 4 a.m. talking on these Zoom calls. And it was people all across the country, like people on the East Coast, people in California, some I think were even out of the country. But it was just such a cool group to like chat with. And our guest today was somebody who was in that group, and it's Kevin McClintock, also known as Mr. McTikTok. And Mr. McTikTok is honestly a perfect name for him because he was like one of the first teachers to really like build up a following. I think he was like one of the first.
OGs.
He was like one of the first to like hit 1 million followers on TikTok. And he was really well known for like his dance. He would do this like cool like shuffle dance that he tried to teach us how to shuffle when we all met up for the first time. I cannot shuffle. So if you need to see some cool shuffle videos, he's the guy. I'm so excited for him to be on the show. And he's actually bringing on his wife, Katie. They recently got married, I think a year or two ago. And Katie's awesome. She's super nice. And we're really excited to have them to talk about what it is to like be married to a teacher and the relationship that is and what it looks like. And also things that our spouses, thought were shocking about teaching or, were surprising to them once they were married to a teacher.
I think I know all those.
I think you know all those too. So he is a former middle school and high school teacher, and he's currently like subbing and volunteering back at his building. But we're really excited to have him on today and have Katie on, and we're going to play some fun games and stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
So after the break, we'll get started with that.
All right, guys, we are here with one of my first TikTok friends, Kevin McClintock, and his beautiful wife, Katie. We are so happy to have you guys. You're actually our first like teacher couple that we've had on here.
Oh, no way.
What an honor.
Yeah, we're super excited because I know that like it's always funny to see the relationship that like teachers have with their spouses and just how it bleeds so much into your life and your relationship inevitably. Just how's life been for you guys? You guys have had a lot going on.
It's been wild. So like I didn't know what it was going to be like to kind of leave teaching. Like even social media, like we kind of took a break for a while. We're just like kind of soul searching to figure out what do we even do? Like what is this? Summertime felt normal. Just because it was summer and you kind of have a little bit of a break. And other than like preparing for the new year, which I didn't really do, but then, just being where we are now, like all of our plans changed. We were supposed to be leaving San Diego and heading up to Huntington Beach to go be with her family.
Did you like, because I know when I first met you, I remember we were on like that Zoom call with like a bunch of other teachers. And you would like be sitting there playing your guitar in your like
my beach shack.
Your beach shack. He literally had a beach house that he was like chilling in.
I was gonna say, just getting to play guitar in a little beach shack sounds
know.
Amazing.
Honestly, to clarify, we don't not live in a beach shack now. It's just we've expanded a little bit, and we're maybe like 1 block away from the beach. So
okay,
but what people
That's
don't
still
understand,
pretty cool.
what people don't understand is when we say that we're by the beach, we're like in a really, really old apartment building that's, mildew and everything, but we live close to the beach.
Yeah, we do.
Do you guys go a lot? Because I've heard like if you live near the beach, you don't go a lot.
It depends.
We go.
I was going to say, is that false?
Yeah, it just depends on like who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Being a local San Diegan, like I grew up, going to the beach all the time. And then like, I will say that as life goes on, like when I was teaching, sorry, I don't know if you could hear that, but those are our
That's okay.
frogs like chirping. We have frogs.
Oh my gosh.
You have
You have pet
frogs?
frogs? Oh my
We have
god.
pet
That
frogs.
is adorable. What are their
They're really-
names?
Well, those ones are Treebeard and Company because there's just like a bunch of them, and we're Lord of the Rings fans.
Oh my God. I was going to
Okay.
say, I love that. That's so great.
And then
I love that.
Then our other frogs are Davy Jones and Blackbeard because their like markings look like they have a black beard, and we call their like
Oh my
aquarium the
gosh.
locker.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I love that so much.
I couldn't imagine someone just being like, "Oh, those are my frogs," but like I love that.
yeah. Well, I've always loved frogs, and then we would go down to Costa Rica, and I just we love the jungle.
Yeah.
Just so
Yeah.
cool.
Awesome.
So I brought a little
Very
bit. I didn't
cool.
actually bring them back with me, but I made my own little jungle in our living room. So,
Aw.
but suffice to say, I go every morning. I surf every morning. So I use.
You were supposed to teach me how to surf the last time I was out there.
Dude, right now I would, but it's cold, dude.
Next time. No, it feels so good though.
It's
I was
so
gonna
cold.
say
I go to the beach.
I'm not a cold water girl, so
Yeah.
if it's freezing, you can't catch me in it.
I go to the beach most days too, and my thing this winter is I want to keep swimming like through the winter. And I was in it yesterday. It was maybe like 50
Ooh.
degrees,
It's
but
gonna
it
get
makes you
colder.
feel so good.
my
I
gosh.
can't even explain the kind of like adrenaline endorphin rush. It's like
I was
The
going to say,
polar
so
plunge.
yeah, I was about to say is I have done a polar plunge, and when I did it, the water was what, 30 degrees?
Yeah,
When we did
it
it?
was really cold.
Yeah, and it was like end of February, beginning of March in Pittsburgh.
And it
it's
was the
just
coldest day of the
cold.
year.
Yeah.
It was like record lows for temperatures thus far.
wow.
So like it was a charity event for the Special Olympics. And so Jordan and his boss, they signed up to do it. And there were just hundreds of
Yeah.
people doing
It's
this
like
polar
a big
plunge.
thing.
It
in
is a
Pittsburgh.
huge event. So they
Wow.
like set up like a local pool company sets up pools outside of the like Pittsburgh Steelers football stadium. And you just like walk up on this ramp when it's your turn, you jump into the pool and then you get out and it's just like a never ending revolving door of just people jumping into this cold pool.
Yeah.
And and on top of that, it's in the middle of winter. So he was like, "Oh, you should do it with me." And I was like, couldn't be me. Like I
You
just
can miss me
I was-
with
No.
that,
Yeah.
dude.
nah.
I was gonna say,
I'm
but
like,
thank
I will
you.
pay the money and donate, but I don't want to jump.
I was gonna say,
Like-
but I totally get what you mean by that, because there's nothing I have yet to experience like an adrenaline rush like that when you're just
Yeah.
like you jump and then you're just hitting cold water like that.
Yeah.
Because it literally takes the breath out of you.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my
It
god,
does.
Yeah. It's just like reset.
yes,
That's so fun though.
absolutely.
I'm so glad that you guys like are so close to the beach and you get to like do what you enjoy every day. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we figure
Yeah.
if you're gonna spend
we
the
pay
big
the
money,
price.
yeah.
You know?
If you're gonna pay
Yeah.
that sunshine tax, you got to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so you were in San Diego in your first beach house, and then you guys are now in another beach house, still in San Diego, correct?
So I've been in
Oh, yeah.
3 different beach houses now. So
Okay.
I moved because the first place was owned by my grandfather, and then when he passed away, the family sold it. So then I had to like jump ship and try to find another spot. And then when we got married, we moved into she already had this apartment, and then I moved in. So
Okay.
yeah,
Very cool.
and then we,
So why were you guys were going to move back up to Huntington Beach just to be closer to your family?
Yes.
Katie?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's still our goal and still our plan. But it feels like the timing isn't right. Like it's just been a
Yeah.
lot of shut doors and
Yeah.
or at least move closer.
we were going to, well, I don't know how many details to go into, but we were going to like move up there to rent. And we were like, why don't we just hold off? Like, why don't
Yeah.
we just wait a little bit longer, wait it out, and hopefully next year buy something. So
Yeah.
Well,
Hey.
awesome. I mean, this housing market is insane right now. So, I mean, I'm going to send all the good vibes your way because I hope you guys find your dream house and are able to, start your life in your home together. But I mean, I think that's so important for people to, we were just talking about this with Jess, like making life some kind of race.
Yeah.
Feeling like you have to move quickly and do different steps at different times. And I love that you pointed out like it didn't feel like the right time. And sometimes it's okay to like take a step back and just be like, hey, we're cool where we are right now and we want to be here, but it's okay to take steps to get here. Like some people, I feel like I do that to myself. I feel like I have to like jump over the steps and just get right there.
Dude,
So
yeah. Me too.
it is what it is. But okay, so you left the classroom. You were at your school like was that the only school you had taught at?
I taught at like a charter school, but it was like so brief. And then like,
Mhm.
and then when I was in college.
Okay.
Okay. Because like originally I was going to be an elementary teacher, actually, like
Mhm.
between like 4th and 6th grade,
Okay.
like you. But I decided that like really wasn't what I wanted to do, and I wanted to be like a high school or middle school teacher. And then
Mhm.
so yeah, going to that school, incredible. But yeah, I left it last year after 6 years. And then we're like on an anniversary trip a couple weeks ago in Boston, and
Mhm.
I get a call from the superintendent, and he's like, "Hey, can you help us do the fundraiser?" And I was like, "Sure." So that they hired me back on for like November, which has been kind of fun.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I get to go and visit my old students and the 7th graders who I never got to teach. They're like, "What were you like?" And I was like, "I was so strict. You would have hated me." As I'm wearing flip-flops and like a beanie, and I look, I've got a beard going on.
They're like,
"What?"
dude, quit playing. We've seen all your TikToks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm sure you were so strict.
Yeah.
Like, what is one thing about teaching that like surprised you the most when you saw it through like through Kevin's experiences, Katie? Like what was, because you're not in education, right?
Correct. I have my master's in clinical counseling, so I'm a marriage and family
Awesome.
therapist.
Oh, wow.
What surprises me the most, this is actually going to sound bad, is that like people stay in it for so long.
I mean, I get why that sounds bad, but it's actually
It's
not surprising to me at all.
Getting to see, like, witness the day-to-day ins and outs of, like, how much work, how draining, how much emotional effort, just, like, how difficult it is on, like, the body and the spirit and the everything. I'm like, wow, I can't believe people stay in this for 40 years. Like, that's shocking. Like, it's incredible that people are built that way. Like, I'm like amazed. I'm very amazed.
I was going to say, no, like, I completely agree with you. Because even today, so Lauren's like, you were running late coming home from school. And I called you. I was like, hey, like, I was just checking in to see what was going on. And she's like, oh, I just had an issue with a student. And the student, like, just had a really bad day. But the thing that, like, shocked me the most was Lauren had walked into the room. And yesterday she was at a different school district shadowing a principal because she's working on her principal license.
Yeah.
And all the kids were like, oh, we missed you and everything. And then this one student was just like, oh, yeah, I didn't miss you. It was great when you weren't here. And I was just like, God.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. They're children and they're going to say things like that. And it is what it is. I mean, sometimes they joke about it, sometimes they don't.
I just
It's
know
okay.
me, and that would just cut me to the core, and I'd be like, all right, I guess I'm just walking out this door again.
Okay,
A lot
okay.
of the kids though are just like they say it because they know they can, like,
Yeah.
and it's like a reaction. That's why I like
Yeah.
working with the bigger kids because I can rip them back. I'm not gonna do that to like a 4th grader. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
I went
Like
in.
when the kid said it to me, he looked me dead in the eyes and he was like, yeah, no one would miss you if you were gone. And I was like, that was mean. And I just kept going about my day. But like, that's the thing in elementary school, like the first time someone says something like that to you, you almost can't react by it because then that's what they want. Like, so I don't know. I just kind of was like, that was mean to say. And I moved on.
100%. I like went into, the subject that I was teaching last year and the grades I was teaching, one of my really good friends took over in my position.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to go visit him because I was doing stuff at the fundraiser today at my old school. And one of my old classes, my 8th grade class that he's teaching, I walk into the classroom because I still have like my badge and stuff. And then a bunch of the kids are like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And then I looked at them and I'm like, "You think I'm here for you? Like who do you think you are?" And they're like, oh. See, that's the kind of stuff I love though. Like,
see, but that's like when you know you have a really good relationship with your students because you can just joke back and forth together. Like my students and I, we do that all the time. And like my one student, it's just like a running joke. He has the hardest time staying in his seat. And so we just we just like give him crap for it. Like he'll come up to the desk and I'll be like, do you need something? And he'll be like, nope, I was never here. And he'll sit back down and raise his hand. And like other times when I'm standing up and I'm not sitting in like a seat or I'm wandering around the room while my co-teacher is teaching, he'll be like, Mrs. Woolley, get back to your seat. And I'm like, listen, I'm the teacher. Like, but that's like so special. And like, I think some people have an idea about teaching that like you have to be, I don't want to say professional because you are still professional, but you have to be like really strict and you have to be completely serious all the time. But like when the kids are having the most fun during class is when they're still learning, but you're also having fun with them. And that doesn't have to come in the form of, you know, being serious with every single thing you say. Kids love joking. That's literally children. So I don't know. I think that's so fun having that kind of relationship with your students. But how do you think like, because I always like getting the same perspective from another like couple who, you know, one of the spouses is a teacher, because I feel like there's like a certain dynamic that happens like when you're married to a teacher. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like that's just been my experience. Like, how do you think it's been being married to a teacher or vice versa, being a teacher and being married? Like, how do you think that affects your relationship?
I noticed when I was teaching that it was like our first couple years of marriage were like really, really hard, in that like I gave everything to teaching. Sure, I was like doing social media and all that stuff too, but like, I mean, kids would come to my classroom. I don't know if I had like time to myself. Like I literally had to like run out of my room and like beeline it to the bathroom just to get like alone time. And even though I'm super extroverted and like I'm like a performer and all that stuff, just coming home, I had nothing. And then Katie would be like, you know, super wife and like doing, you know, cooking, cleaning, doing all this like really awesome stuff. And I come home and I'd have like nothing to give her. And then it would be like almost as if we got to be married like on the weekends, you know?
I relate to that sometimes too. I do.
I agree with you with that like first couple years of like being married, because you got married or you started teaching 2 years before. No, the year before we got married. So you were still a new teacher.
Yeah, it was 2 years because my third year teaching was when we got married.
Yeah. So you were still like a rookie teacher, learning a lot of the ropes, and especially at the school district you were teaching at the time it was a hard one. Yeah, it was a hard one to teach at. And I just remember, especially like that first year, you wouldn't get home till like 9-10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Like most nights. And it was just and it was the same thing where it was just like she was just drained, like emotionally, physically, just everything was just sapped out of her when she was coming home. And that like just getting to be kind of married on the weekend thing, like I can totally relate and understand like what that's like from, I'm sure you can too, just how you went through it also.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's not an experience unique to teaching. I'm sure there are tons of other careers that are like that. I mean, doctors, for instance, or, you know, first responders that are working like odd hours, or, you know, even, you know, your dad. Like I look at your parents, because Jordan's parents worked completely opposite shifts. Like his mom was a software engineer, and she would literally work, you know, from like 4 a.m. She would get up and go like leave for work early at 4 a.m. until like 3, 4.
She'd leave work at 3, be home at like 3:34.
She would work during the day, and then his dad worked from like 2 in the afternoon until like 11 at night, and would get home at midnight. So like during the week also, they were never in the same room together. It was just like
That's
baffling
wild
to me. I'm like, how do people make that work? But they did.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were great, but like that just seems so crazy to me. And I look back at my first year teaching, and I remember that, because we weren't married yet, but like I remember staying till 9 o'clock at night because the school district I was at, not only the district, but like the principal that I had was super demanding, and like she just was like, okay, you have to have this done by this day, and if it's not, you're gonna be in trouble. And so like for elementary school, there are a lot of moving parts, and like we had to have our schedule constantly displayed on our wall. So like the beginning of the school year, I'm sitting there with like sentence strips, writing out our schedule, plastering it to the wall, moving it around, putting anchor charts up, labeling everything, getting stuff prepped. And like as a first year teacher, and you know, just in the beginning of your career, I'm sure you could relate to this also, Kevin, like you have nothing to like fall back on. You're kind of just like building the ship as it flies. So, or flies? What?
Sails? I would go with on that one.
It's a rocket
it could be
ship.
an
Building the
airship.
plane. No,
Yeah.
that you got it. Yeah,
it's an airship.
You got it.
Like a
Treasure
rocket
planet
ship.
situation.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's a flying ship.
It's a flying ship.
But you're building it as you go. And like, I would be there till 9 o'clock at night. And then, because obviously we weren't married, so I would come over his house, which he still lived with his parents at the time too, at, 9:30. And he'd be like, let's watch a movie. And we're sitting there and I'm like conked out 2 seconds later. And it would be like, midnight. He'd be like, hey, go home. I'm like, okay. But like, it's really challenging trying to balance, work and being married in like the first few years. So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like we have a much better balance now.
Yeah.
It's still a lot.
It took a lot of...
Now we have a lot of other projects, but
yeah.
With teaching wise, if like everything else was set aside, I feel like teaching has gotten easier over the years, and I'm able to like leave school at a decent hour and come home and see you.
Yeah, no.
I'm not falling asleep.
I think so. I think it's one of the types of careers too, with the start of your career feels like so much more work than later on in the career.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like when you get later on into the career, you have a lot more resources you've built and everything. So like things are like modularized. So you can like drop this here and that, and you're not creating everything from scratch like you do at the start. And whereas my career was really easy at the first, and now it's just way more complicated.
We flip-flopped that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, in response to that question, how much I feel like I conceptualized Kevin at school, and I feel like this sense of like, just like respect for what he does. And I feel like that really trickles down into our marriage. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure how to put this into words well, because I don't think I've ever tried before. But it's like when I think about the way he like serves those kids and like loves on those kids, and like the mentor and the role model he has been to like so many kids and the relationship he has, it's like I feel like it's just a piece of him, of like a piece of the whole that I love so much. And like it's when I see it happen, and when I go to a volleyball game or like take him lunch to school on occasion, like super occasionally, it's just like, wow, like I just feel like this like sense of like, that's the best word for it, is like respect, of like, I really respect what he does, and I really respect that was his choice, and like this was his dream to like serve children. Like I just feel like it's beautiful and cool, and yeah.
That's such a nice way to put that. I love that. That was so nice. No, it definitely is. And like, I like that you said it's a part of him, because I kind of feel like that's a double-edged sword. Like, I don't want teaching to be my whole personality, but in this, like on the other hand, I feel like teaching is such a big part of my life and who I am as a person, that it kind of becomes part of my personality. So it's like, it's hard to, get out of that sphere of, that's why like when I post videos, I try to post some videos that are about like our real life and things that we like to do outside of work, because I think it is important to look at teachers as actual humans. But you're right. Like, I feel like when you choose to be a teacher, it is a part of you that is like that servant mindset. You like to serve others, and you have this goal in your heart to help build the next generation of people.
Mhm.
So I completely agree with that entirely. I love that. That was so sweet. And
No,
such a nice way to put that.
I agree completely. I think it's one of those things where when I look at it, like, I really think like teaching's almost like it's like a calling. It's something that like the person is built for. Cause I look at myself as like, I could never be a teacher.
Yeah, I think that all the time.
I like my world of like graphic design and all of that stuff and working on the corporate side of things and everything. And that's where I strive. Like if I tried to run a classroom of 15, 20, 30 kids, I would just get eaten alive. And at some point I would snap. So for like people to be able to go in the classrooms and do that and just give back and give like huge swaths of like their lives to helping kids do better and like succeed and become like a brighter future. I think it's just such an honorable calling. And I just like, I'm proud of all of them. And I'm so excited to have like the teachers in our community and everything.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I have to know. Obviously, Kevin and I know what subjects we taught, but like, if you were to be a teacher, Katie and Jordan,
Oh God.
if you had to teach, what would you teach and why? Jordan's like, Katie,
I got you. I've taught Kevin's health class before. I've done like a section of the unit on mental health.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
speaking
wow.
to the process of like being a therapist or reaching out for therapy. What else did I talk about? Trying to remember.
One of the things the kids really, really loved was like the way that you, I guess it's like well known, but the way that you described like your depression, or not necessarily your depression, but like the sadness that you feel, like everything you go through like goes in waves, and you like ride that wave, and then you know that there's like another wave coming. Like it's just wave after wave after wave. And it's
Riding
like
the wave, yeah.
Understanding that you're just riding the wave. It'll get better. It'll get worse. It'll get better. And it just, but the kids are really like, that day I had kids say that they wanted to become therapists because of her.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible.
That's awesome.
Sweet. But yeah, I really could see myself teaching health class. It was like, when he was teaching health class, I had a lot of opinions, not even just on the mental health unit. That was just maybe a third of it. I don't know how many units there were, but on everything.
Curriculum that I just threw out.
They need better sex help.
Spent like hundreds of dollars getting new curriculum just because I was like, this is important.
Better education.
Yeah, it was important.
But I would love to teach health personally.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I remember our high school health class. It was a trip.
Yeah.
I remember.
In a bad way?
No, not in a bad way. Like I think like
No,
just
we
me
had
personally,
a very.
I think sex education is super important.
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say
think
we had a very
kids need to
comprehensive
learn.
because we went to the same high school, and
Yeah.
it was very like.
It was comprehensive.
Yeah,
for sure.
they
Like
did good.
you definitely like learned everything you needed to know to
That's
make
awesome.
responsible, informed decisions as an adult. And I think the same about the school that I teach at. Like our health teacher does a great job of making sure like the kids are knowledgeable and understanding what's going on, with their own bodies, and so they can make, informed decisions. And I just the only thing I remember that was like a trip was having to watch The Miracle of Life. And it was like the 1980s version.
Oh God.
What is that?
It was like a human birth video.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. But like I said, 1980s. So, I mean, it was like a blast from the
It
past.
was grainy Super 8 footage,
It
and it
was
was
really
just like,
awkward.
oh, okay.
I just
I
remember
definitely
everybody
have-
being really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I definitely have an image from high school like seared in my brain of, watching a birth.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Something. That was something. Kudos to health teachers. I could not do what you do. So yeah, for sure. Okay, Jordan, what would you teach?
I don't know. I'm torn between, just because it's a big passion of mine, is photography. I love photography.
Did we have a photography class at
We
our school?
did. It was like a
I feel like it was an
9
elective.
weeks elective sort
Okay.
of thing. And then I know I took it as an elective in college too. So
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I'm tossed up between that or math because I just love math and I'm just a big nerd for math. So
I could see you being a math teacher.
They
But
need
no, I
math
think
teachers, man.
photography for sure.
yeah.
Job security.
Yeah. Yeah. You're always going to need math for sure. That's so cool. Well, I mean, I love that for you guys. And I'm so happy for the journey
Yeah.
that you guys are on. And I'm glad you decided to, take a break and just, do some soul searching. And now you're back subbing, right? Is that
From time to time. Like that was always planned. Like even when I had left my school, they were like, keep the badge because we're going to be asking you to sub. And I'm like, all right, cool.
we're going to be calling you?
So yeah, I think
That's
for
fun.
me, it's just figuring out like what life is like not being a teacher.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
that aspect of me that always wants to pour into kids.
Yeah.
Still gets to happen though, because like I call up
Mhm.
like my old students who have graduated, and I talk to them, and I'm in the talks with taking one of my old students to the gym and getting a burrito and stuff. Like he's like
That's so fun.
19, 20. I surfed with another one of my students.
He coached surf first semester.
Yeah, and I was like coaching
Okay.
surf
Wow.
at my school and things like that. So like the thing that like I truly like love and will never let go of is the mentorship.
Yeah.
And that's like, to me, that's like the most important as a teacher, but like
Yeah.
there's obviously a lot more to teaching than that. And so I
Mhm.
think for me, that was why I was okay with like letting teaching go for a little bit, as long as I get to mentor.
You still
Yeah.
get to do like that aspect of the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I know at my old school, like we did not have, and I think that there needs to be more male representation in education, and other like just diversity in general, because I feel like the teaching population is, let's be honest, it's typically women.
Mhm.
But I just feel like it makes such a difference when children that don't have a strong male figure in their life have a positive male role model as a teacher. I truly feel like that makes such a big difference. And at my old school, we had a few of the male teachers set up like a young gentleman's club,
Mhm.
and it was literally like kindergarten through 8th grade, like they like little gentlemen's. They would like dress in little suit jackets, and then they would teach them like etiquette, and they would teach them just how to be polite and how to, speak to people respectfully. And it was just such a great little mentorship program, and the kids loved it. They would like lose their minds when it was time for their club, because they would get to go and have like lunch with them, and it was just a nice positive role model for them. So I'm sure you've done that for a lot of your students, which is so awesome. So I'm really glad that you still get to kind of be in that capacity. But I want to hear, before we go on to do our game after our break, I want to hear real quick your story about your freshman teacher.
Oh, the teacher.
Yeah, it was your Mr.
Oh
Blake.
my gosh, Mr. B, dude, Mr. Blake. I was like, my fucking dude.
I was like,
man,
did
you going
I?
back deep. Okay.
I was like, did I get this wrong?
Oh my
I was like,
gosh. No.
Okay.
You got it right. You got it real
Okay.
right. Okay, so
You're like Mr. Blake.
Mr. B, dude.
Call him by his name. Geez.
Mr. B. Gosh, so he was my favorite teacher, like of all time. And I mean, he was like the tiniest guy you've ever met. Like he was probably 5'2", something 5'3". I don't know. He's pretty short. But like he was a giant to us. He was a giant to me. And I just remember like, I was 14, and I was dating this girl, and she like, I kind of broke it off over the summer, and then we got back together, and then I was like really into her. And man, first love, you know what I'm saying? Like you just feel like everything is so big at 14. And she ends up, so our school would go like on a retreat, and it was like kind of in October where we'd all like you just get to know each other, and you get to make all these friendships, and that's when a lot of the relationships start and like all that stuff, and she ended up breaking up with me at camp. And I was like, devastated, dude. I was like, but the thing
Not
was,
at camp.
dude,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Way to
was,
ruin
is
the
like,
trip.
but it was like at the same time I had gone like on a trip to South Korea. And I ended up actually getting put into a coma.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
What happened?
so it was crazy. So I was like doing like a sports ministry for like this huge event that we were doing with my church. So I was like teaching kids how to play like American sports and stuff, and it was like super fun, but I wasn't like drinking a lot of water or anything. It was just like our days were so busy. Like we'd be helping out old people's home in the morning, and then we would go and we'd like go serve at a local church, or we'd go to like a just all these things like packed into a day. And then so I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm like 14. I'm like, whatever. And then I like was so dehydrated. We were like, I think we were in like the Hyundai Mall in where were we? Busan? Something, I don't know. But I was like leaning on the escalator and I like just passed out. But I like kept going and fell off of it onto my head.
Oh my God.
Like over the
my
side?
Over the side. As it was
How
going
far
down.
up were you?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess that. Hold on. I guess that's a really. I guess that's a really dumb question to ask.
I woke up the
Sorry.
next day. No, it's fine. Like I don't know. I woke up the next day. Maybe it was like 24 hours. I forget how long it was, but it's like 24 hours, 48 hours, something like that. I woke up in the hospital, going like, "What happened?"
Oh my god!
And this happened probably like 2 weeks prior to the breakup. So like I was already kind of like just figuring out what's going on. We get back to school and my parents were like, should you even go to camp? And I'm like, yeah, I want to go to camp. And like I literally have like a hematoma the size of a lemon, like on my head.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she ends up breaking up with me like that next week. I'm sure she probably felt bad. Like she was like, the timing's never going to be perfect. But man, she like just ripped out my heart, dude. I like
She's like, I know this is really bad timing and you just fell over an escalator, but I want to see other people.
And I would like listen to like breakup songs all the time just to like, you know what I mean? And like my mom too, she's like driving me to school. Like, why are we listening to this trash? And I'm like, because mom, like going back to Mr. B, like that day, or there was like one day, I think I just like let it get to me, dude. And I was in class, and usually I was always kind of a class clown, I guess. Already I had like a desk by myself, like in the corner, so I couldn't talk to people. In his class specifically, but I had a really good relationship with him, which also is like can hurt sometimes. Where like I probably felt so comfortable doing what I am about to tell you. Which, that is the catch when you do build relationships. But like that day I was just like on one, dude. And I was so angry. And he said something probably like messing with me or whatever. And I like cussed him out. Like I was so pissed. I was like, ah! And it was like in the middle of class. I was 14 and I'm just like, I barely remember, like, I don't even really remember it. Just kind of like that. But I remember he was like, go sit outside. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, oh shoot. I'm so dead. I'm going to the office. Like, I'm going to get in so much trouble. You know what I mean? And so I'm like sitting there. I'm just like head buried in my lap or whatever. And he like dismisses the class like a couple minutes early, comes and sits down next to me. And he just like goes, what's going on with you? And just, instead of like berating me or being like, upset, he just like was like, I know something's wrong. I know you didn't mean to do that. Let's talk. And then I didn't get in trouble. And that to me, that moment was like the moment I can pinpoint back to like what grafted like on my heart to be a mentor for kids. Because that, if it was any other person, that would have gone a different way.
Absolutely.
I would have got suspended, could have gotten like expelled. I was at like a private Christian school. Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't do that. You know what I mean? And so for me, that was like the defining moment that I can even like pinpoint to why I became a teacher and like why I love to mentor kids. Because like
Yeah.
that stuff has happened to me. And I've had to do like, I've like passed it forward. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it was like, I mean, it was such a pivotal moment for me.
Well, that's what, going back to like the story Jordan was telling about my student saying like that, like he said that to me. And then like later on in the day, he said something else that I was like, dude, like what? So I like after all the other kids were in the other room doing a math activity, I was looking at him, I was like, what's going on? Like, what, did I do something? Are you okay? Like, why are you talking to me like this? Like, cause you don't like, like you don't usually talk to me like that. So I think that's kind of a great message because it is hard sometimes when you're the adult and you are being disrespected by a child. And it doesn't matter what age they are. It still will sting just the same because we're human. And when people disrespect us, you want to feel a certain way about it. But I think it's really important before like making a decision about, a consequence or like what you're going to do about it, talk to the kid. Like take them out of the situation, remove them
de-escalate.
from everybody else. Yeah, from everybody else's eyesight and have a talk with them and just be like, hey, this is really out of character. What's going on? Is there something happening at home? Did something happen this morning that's triggering this? Like, because I mean, that's not going to work every single time.
No.
But
Not
a lot of the time you'll get to the bottom of it and you understand that the behavior is not at all directed at you. It's just them getting the anger off their chest in a way that they can. And then like showing them, okay, this was not cool. Like we're not going to do this again, but here are some things you can do when you do feel angry like that, or you feel like you want to be upset with someone or, XYZ. So like I said, it's a case by case basis, but I mean, that's something that it took me a while to learn that as a teacher. And it does make a huge difference. Just like pulling a kid out and talking to them before, jumping the gun and, sending him to the office or, calling home or whatever. So I'm really glad that you had that teacher in your life to kind of, understand what you were going through and realize that that was uncharacteristic for you. And, because like you said, they set you on that path to then become a mentor for other kids. And I think that's so admirable.
Yeah.
And I know we probably all had a teacher like that in our lives. So I really appreciate you sharing that story. That was a great story.
Yeah.
So when we come back from the break, we are going to play a version of the Newlywed game. Since, y'all are semi-newlyweds. You're not.
Forever newlywed. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. So now we are going to be playing a little twist of a Newlywed game here, where I'm going to be asking 5 questions.
Yeah.
5 questions. And Kevin and Lauren will be getting to answer these questions. And then me and Katie are going to have to do our best to guess them correctly. So are we ready for question number 1?
Yeah. Let's see how well you know me.
All right. Which student behavior does your teacher partner find the most frustrating? Looks like Kevin's going. Lauren, you're still thinking.
School, dude. Like,
I had to think about it for a second because I was like, I mean, there are various ones that are frustrating. So I don't know. I had to pick one in particular that I feel like would frustrate me the most.
Okay. Who's going to go first?
Why don't you go first?
I'm going to go first. Oh, okay.
What do you think I put down?
I think that you put down interrupting you when you're in the middle of talking.
oh man, was that right?
I said,
oh, no way!
talking over me while teaching.
Whoa,
Only because
I'm impressed.
Why do you think I wrote that?
The only reason this was my guess was because, was it last month, you bought a little hand clicker for every time students interrupted you, and you counted it.
It was a trend on TikTok,
day.
to be fair. It was a trend. So Casey and I bought the little it's a pitch counter for baseball. And every time we got interrupted during class, we would click it. By the end of one day, I think we had like 250 interruptions. It was insane. The first day we did it. And but the kids were like, why do you keep clicking that? What is that? What is that for? And we wouldn't tell them until the end of the day. And they were like, oh. So then like the next day they tried to make it less, and it actually kind of worked, but like, that fell off the bandwagon. They don't do that anymore.
Dude, so that's like the intangible. Like those are the intangibles of teaching that people don't understand, that like wear on you as a teacher, that you are constantly interrupted.
You have so much patience as a teacher. You really do. And it's like when it's constant, like you're saying over and over and over again, then you're like, all right, guys. Because like for me, it's not so much that it's not like a respect thing. It's not that you're talking when I'm talking, like whatever. For me, like I have ADHD, and my thoughts, like when I'm trying to speak and I'm hearing like side conversations next to me or in front of me, like my brain splits into two different routes, and half of me is still teaching, the other half is listening, and I can't do both at the same time. So it's like, it just makes it harder for me to teach. And I'm honest with the kids about that. I'll just be like, guys, I can't focus when I hear you guys talking. So I'm like, you got to stop. But okay, what did you put, Kevin?
Yep. Or no,
Question,
Katie.
I guess.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
So I'm thinking, and I'm thinking I'm not right, which is, you don't like when the kids don't turn in their assignments.
Yeah, whatever.
And then you have to like chase them down. And
but that's not like the thing. Yeah, that's like middle school, whatever. But no, it's talking over me. It's literally what every teacher hates. Literally every teacher hates that.
I was thinking you don't get annoyed by that like I would be, because they talk over you or like talk loudly, and you seem to like feed off it.
Yeah. But that's like when I'm being like serious and we're trying to actually do something, and they keep talking. Like this is the reason I was able to like so quickly like write that thing down, was because I was visiting my buddy's classroom today, and he was doing that to them, and I was like, oh, I just want to say something. I'm like, oh, you're so disrespectful right now, and he's like literally helping you pass a test right now, and they're like, just having conversations, and I'm like literally hearing the conversation has nothing to do with like anything.
I love that that's just a universal experience as a teacher. Like there are so many behaviors and things that kids do that are like, it's just kids being kids, but like, yeah, that is the number one thing I feel like teachers would agree upon, is just being talked over when you're trying to provide information. Yeah.
I mean, that's why I had my own desk. That's what I would do. So I get it. Like, I get it, man.
All right. What's question number two?
Question number 2.
And I'll remember the rules this time, because I was trying to help Katie out and get her a bonus point.
Oh. How many hours does your teacher partner typically spend grading in a week?
You guys, I'm so scared. What if I get none and everybody judges me?
Okay, what happens if I don't even know the answer?
I hope you do get none right. That would be so funny. This is a hard question because I don't even know.
That's what I was saying. I was like, what happens if I don't even know the answer?
I never see grading stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it does depend
on.
Oh
my gosh. Prep periods then.
Yeah. So we're gonna math this one out.
Okay, I have my answer.
You got your answer?
Katie, go first this time.
Yep. Sounds good.
Kevin is actually like really passionate about getting teachers, like everybody we know who's a teacher. He's like, spend less time outside of school, like working on schoolwork. Like it's one of his favorite lectures to give anybody like that we meet ever who's a teacher, is like, spend less time working. Like, so I'm gonna go with and he lives by it too. Like he didn't bring up work home. I'm gonna go with like just his prep periods, maybe like 3 hours.
Wow, that was pretty good. 4. I put 4.
I think you get
that point.
Yeah.
I think she gets the point.
That point counts.
Yeah.
I think
that's close enough.
It depends though, because like I only graded the stuff that like was good feedback, like stuff that like mattered. The thing, like the secret is like there was like a lot of all or nothing kind of things. Like if they did it, they got credit, you know? Mm-hmm. But for the most part, like if it was like a test or something, So then my prep periods,
well, that's the thing. Not everything has to be a grade. It's
exactly.
Like, if you put in the effort and you were trying, sure.
I think 4 hours probably of really good feedback.
All right, Jordan.
Okay, so I was trying to math this out. So your prep period's what, an hour? And you get... Oh, no.
Dude, elementary teachers don't have prep periods, bro. Come on now.
Oh, what?
elementary
Oh,
teachers are
no.
told they have to do a million other things on their prep period.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh.
I never see you grade at home. So 8 hours?
Okay, I mean, I thought this one was a tough one because, okay, first of all, you never see me grade at home because you're usually asleep by that time.
Oh, okay.
I do a lot of work. Like Jordan falls asleep and I'm sitting in bed next to him continuing to work just because I don't know how to shut it off. I can't. Like, and it's not even just school work. It's not like teacher work.
Mhm.
It's just a combination of like grad school and grading things and whatever. So I put 5 to 6,
Maybe.
because I don't know. It also depends on the week because, okay, so like I have like I'm a language arts teacher. They write essays for me. And right now I teach like a co-teach class. So I have 29 essays that I'm grading. And like they wrote these essays for me a month ago and I'm still grading them
Mhm.
because it takes
100%,
that
yeah.
long to do.
Yeah,
So
because that's something that you want to give like actually authentic, really good
Right.
feedback.
Yeah.
Right. I sit and
100%.
I read them and I give them, comments on what they did well and what they could improve on. And then, there's like our weekly grades. Like we have like our curriculum now makes us do a spelling test, which I don't like. And then we have vocabulary and then, which I do like. And then we have we do like a mentor sentence. So it's like grammar and we do like a little a quiz for that. So it just depends on the week, but yeah, I'd say like 5 to 6.
Dang.
But I mean, I don't know. I think that one was tough.
Yeah.
I think Katie gets the point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
she
I
definitely was
agree.
closer.
All right.
All right, on to the next.
Question number 3. What is the most ridiculous excuse a student has given your teacher partner for missing homework?
I gotta really think. I don't know.
I just like your face during all of these because you're like, huh.
I gotta rewrite this because I messed it up. I don't know. I gotta think.
I can't think of any, honestly, that you've
When
told
did
me.
it-
I don't think I've told you any
Yeah.
because they haven't been good since the pandemic. Kids just didn't do their work online.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It's very rare that I give homework.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I just am not a proponent of giving homework.
yeah, me either. Yeah,
Okay, I have to put a preface on my excuse as to why it sounds, I guess, ridiculous. But either way. Okay, Jordan, you're up first.
Okay, I'm up first. Oh, you have to add a preface.
I had to add a preface because it won't make sense. It doesn't sound like a ridiculous excuse unless I add the preface.
With you saying that, I'm just going to go with the classic, the dog ate the homework.
Okay, so I said I had a soccer game. And the reason that sounds ridiculous to me is because whenever I give homework, because I don't give it often at all, when I do give homework, I usually give them at minimum 2 to 3 days to complete it. So like, if a student comes in and they said, well, I have a soccer game tonight, I'll be like, okay, do it tomorrow or like the next day or during homeroom. Like I give them so many opportunities to do it even in class. So that's why it would be ridiculous to me. But like, I don't really give homework anyway.
All right, Katie, your turn.
I was thinking about during the pandemic, Kevin had a student Zoom in while snowboarding. From the
oh, that
lift.
was dope. He was skiing. It was like I told him to. I literally told him to. I was like, bro,
That is awesome.
when you're on the lift, when you're going down the slope, I need you to zoom in and say hi.
So I'm gonna go. I can't. I'm in Aspen.
It was no, where were they? They were at Vail.
Vail.
Okay, Vail.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
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 Okay,
Okay,
what was
what's
your
your
answer,
answer?
Kevin?
I would say that wasn't ridiculous because I was all for that. I'm like, dude.
Aw, give her
mine-
some credit. That was great.
No, that was great. But I had other homework I didn't do, and so I did that instead.
Instead,
That's like, because and the thing is like I didn't
Yeah.
give homework. I would give like work. If they didn't do it in class, then it became homework. And we
Yeah.
were block schedule. So like they had 2 days to do it anyway.
right.
So it was usually like then
That's same for me. It's just
Yeah.
if you have multiple days and it's like same thing. If I give homework, it's maybe like a page and like a couple of math problems. And you have like this week, I know Casey gave homework for math, and it was like 2 pages of homework, and they had an entire week to do it. I'm so interested to see who turns in homework tomorrow.
yeah.
I want to see, if it gets done. Because, like, I'm going to be honest, when you teach elementary school especially, I don't give homework because of many reasons. One, I think they're children, and there's a lot of time that needs to be spent with families. Two, some kids don't have an adult at home to help them with their homework, and so it's either going to get practiced incorrectly or they're going to stress out about it and it won't get done anyway. So if I do give homework, like, they'll come up to my table in the morning and sit with me, and like they can work on it there, or like during, recess if they want to. I don't force them to do that. Or, even like when they finish an assignment early in class, they'll do it like during that little chunk of time that they have. So yeah, I know that like homework can help with practicing different skills.
Like reading. Reading's a good one. Like a little bit of reading every night is pretty good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, I used to do a reading log when I was in, when I taught 2nd grade, and, most of the families would turn it in. But like, in all honesty, all I want you to do is just read together for a few minutes a night. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Mm-hmm. Read a book before bed. That's it. Like, yeah, reading is so much more of a beneficial activity for like a homework activity, and it's a family engagement activity.
Yeah,
so,
and it's kids' choice. You know what I mean? So the kid gets to like choose something they actually want to read,
Right. Completely agree. All right, what's the next?
All right, next question. What's your teacher partner's secret weapon for getting students to pay attention?
I know I'm going to get this one right, actually.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Well, Lauren's writing a book over here.
Because I kind of have 2. Okay.
You have 2?
She's got like a step
I
by
have
step.
2, actually.
I know,
too.
yeah.
Kevin's so beloved at his school because he's so outrageous. Because he's such a crazy teacher. So I know for a fact that he throws things at kids and jumps up on tables suddenly if he feels like people aren't paying attention.
I jump up on the desk. And when I throw things, it's a paper ball, okay?
Okay. I was like, hold on. What are you throwing?
I jump up on the desk.
Oh, look at that.
I used to do that all the time. Like, I would just be like walking up in front of them. They'd be like doing whatever. And all of a sudden, just like straight like box jump, just boom. And they're like, oh! And I'm like, shut up. And they're like, okay.
But they'll all tell me about it too.
Yeah. And then they're like,
the students.
Oh my God.
yeah, it's
That's
like they still talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, and you teach high schoolers, so you could totally do that stuff with them.
100%.
Oh, Lord. Okay. All right.
I just want to see that now.
I know.
I
Like,
wouldn't do
I'm
that to like, I
impressed.
wouldn't
Yeah.
do that to like 4th graders, because then they would
Yeah.
want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like to a high
yeah,
schooler,
they
or,
very
like, a
much
middle
like to
schooler,
imitate.
They're like, oh, that was because they don't see you as like somebody that can do something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you do it, they're just shocked. They're like, like something in their brain kind of snaps a little bit, and you're like, got you. Now I can take that and then repurpose it.
Yeah. Now pay attention and write the notes. Okay, what do you think mine is?
I think it's so you have a class economy, and I think it's just your money from your class economy that you hand out as a secret. You pay your students.
Okay.
Dang,
You
God's
got half.
economy. Let's go.
You
Yeah.
got half of it.
I got half.
You got half of
I get
it.
half a point.
Okay. So one thing I kind of started doing is you know those little plastic pointers that I have? It's like a pointer and just has like a little hand on the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, because we're co-teaching this year, there are times when like where like one is teaching and one is assisting. So I'm like, when Casey takes the focus on math, I'm walking around the room assisting, and I bring my pointer with me. And sometimes if someone's not paying attention, I'll just like pretend my mic is the kid. I'll just like do one of these where I just like put it close to them. And I'm like, are you paying attention? And like get up real near them and poke their book to like show them where we're at. I'll just be like, we're right here. Like, I'll just like, and they joke about it, and they're like, Mrs. Harris, Mrs. Woolley's poking my book. And I'm like, so they'll do that. But the other one I put is Bribery.
Bribery, yes.
So yeah,
Dude.
we'll give them class economy money
Works.
or bear badges or candy.
I was gonna say they love that stuff.
they're kids.
Especially
of
you had,
course.
it was the Pokemon cards the
Oh.
one year. They lost it over
Last
Pokemon
year.
cards.
Yeah,
Yes.
oh, yeah.
Did you ever
last
have
year-
like a holographic one that you'd like hold on to for like the best kid? Best
No,
behaved, not best kid.
So in my class economy, I had I let them tell me, like I took like a survey of like what items they wanted to have in the class store so that they would work towards them. And last year, like all the boys were super into Pokemon card trading. So I would buy like the packs of Pokemon cards off Amazon. I could get them in like a little pack, like a little cheaper. And so the thing about the class store, because I got these comments when I was restocking the store sometimes, is like I would put them in there and show that the Pokemon cards were like $50. And they were like, what? You're charging children $50? I'm like, chill. It's paper money and it's in the store. It's like they have to learn to save up the money for it. Like that's the whole lesson here. But they would lose their minds when they got enough money to buy the Pokemon cards. And at one point there was one pack left. And one of the kids was like, guys, no one, because I taught them about inflation and I raised the price of the cards. And then a few weeks later, I was teaching them about supply and demand. And I was like, okay, there's only one pack of cards left. So I think because I know a lot of you want to buy it, I'm going to raise the price slightly because I can make a higher profit because there's a high demand for this item and there's not a lot of it. So I raised it like $5 or something. And the one kid was like, guys, no one buy the Pokemon cards because when no one buys them, she's going to have to lower the price. And then I was like, there's a thought. And then another kid was like, I'll buy them. And they were like, no, like you ruined our plan. But yeah, the bribery, I'm sorry. Like sometimes, like, why do we go to work?
Oh, for money.
For money. You go because you're being paid to do that. So if kids are like not motivated to learn in school, I'm going to learn why they want, like what they want or what they want to be motivated by. And I'm going to use that to motivate them to do their schoolwork because,
Amen.
I mean, otherwise they're just going to sit there. So I don't want that.
Yeah.
So yeah, bribery.
Bribery. Is this a pro bribery podcast now?
No, just with fake paper money.
Just with fake paper.
It's just a pro motivation.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
like,
a motivation technique.
I would take my students off campus, like on a Friday or whatever, to go to Starbucks. You know, like if they were
shoot.
good.
You could do that?
That's so
yeah,
cool.
we could do that. I had to sign them out and
so
stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was a walk.
It was a walk. Like
Oh,
we
okay.
didn't drive
How did you
anywhere.
sign them out?
Well, I would sign them out for like the period. It would just be like McClintock's
Oh.
class. And then I would have
Okay.
to like take a radio with me and then
And it's like directly next to the school.
yeah. It's like
Oh,
Oh, okay.
we literally
I
have
gotcha.
like a strip mall like right next to the school.
Gotcha.
oh, cool.
I was like, man, like that sounds like I've never had that opportunity. That's
Yeah.
cool. I wish we had a Starbucks next to my school.
I was about to say you also.
Nah, I'd rather have a Dunkin'.
Yeah. Oh.
You wouldn't want what we have though, because there are like 6 schools all right next to each other within this like
wow.
small little area. And so there's
Oh.
like hundreds, thousands of kids, like just everywhere. And then so
Yeah.
like so that's like the unfortunate part, but you know,
Mhm.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
You still have coffee near school. I don't. Not even on my way to work do I have coffee.
Yeah.
I'm jelly. Okay.
All right. The last question. Are you ready?
Ready.
If your teacher partner could go on a dream vacation during the school year, which month would they choose?
Month.
I don't know what month you would choose. That's so niche.
I know that is a niche question.
I heard his pen go like.
I know. She's like, I felt like I had to doodle something on my
advantage you
paper.
could get. You're just listening to the pen
Because I didn't
strokes.
want
All
him
right, that's an
to
A.
pay attention to the pen strokes.
Short word.
Yep. I'm going to go with October
Why is that?
because that's like our wedding month or our anniversary month.
Aw.
And you just like the fall.
That's a
So-
cute answer,
Is it wrong?
but entirely wrong.
Oh, what is it?
March.
March.
Because It is my
March.
least favorite month of the school year. It's the longest month of the school year.
Oh,
There's not a single long weekend, not a single holiday, other than St. Patrick's Day, but we were at school for St. Patrick's Day. And it's, not that I don't want to be at work, but like, it's always fun when you have little long weekends here and there. And March, for every teacher, is the longest month. So I would go on vacation then.
For me, my instinct was also October. It's also our anniversary, and
Oh, fun.
took 2 weeks off 2 years ago when we did get married, and we went to Costa Rica
Dream vacation.
Ooh.
during October.
Yeah.
Nice.
But based off of pen stroke length, I'm gonna go with May.
That is correct.
Look at that! Oh my
all
gosh!
right.
That was.
That's when the
You
kids.
guys should let us cheat, though.
Yeah.
That's when the kids get out. So, like, if I could take my dream vacation, I would just start summer early. I would.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a smart
I just
answer.
leave.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
May
No,
off?
that's a smart answer.
Like May 15th is like the last day of school or whatever
Yeah.
for the kids, and we stay until like May 30th. I'm like, let me get out, dude.
Hold on. Let's roll that back. Your kids get out of school on May 15th and then teachers stay for 2 more weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
What do you do for 2 weeks?
Planning.
They have
Planning
a lot.
what?
What is it called?
We have a
In-service?
lot of in-service. Like,
Compared to other schools, they have them like
Oh.
monthly. They have so
Oh, wow.
many.
it's like
Okay.
bi-weekly, actually.
Yeah.
Is when
Oh,
we do a lot
wow.
of in-services. Like every, like tomorrow, they've got an in-service because there's like a half day. So the teachers will be doing an
Okay.
in-service. Like, it's kind of normal. Like, I'm sure you guys do it too, but, like,
They do a lot though.
yeah.
Nah. We have in-service, like, I think we have 3 in-service days a year, like, within the school year. And then we have, like, 3 at the start of the school year and 1 at the end.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's like a full week or so of in-service days. But
They do
Yeah,
a lot of in-service at my old school.
no, our
So-
kids get out, like, the following week. They get out, like, May 24th or something like
Mhm.
that. And then it always falls around Memorial Day. And then, like, if the last day of school is before Memorial Day and there's a day after that in the week, then that's the teacher's last in-service day. If not, then it's the day after Memorial Day. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a smart idea. I
Yeah.
would do that too. See, here's the thing though. My teacher anxiety would be like, March might be the longest month of the year, but then if I'm gone in the middle of March, that's also like test
Yeah.
prep season. And
Yeah.
Then
so
you
I
come
think
back.
I picked a bad month. So
So this is
I'm
my
gonna
thought
revoke my
process.
month.
Is May is like you're basically done. The kids aren't learning
Yeah.
anymore.
Yep.
You've prepped them all you can.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Sit there and proctor a test? Or like, come on, like I'm gonna go on vacation.
Yeah.
I'm gone. Peace out, love you. I'll see you next year. I've done all I can do. That was like my AP thing too. Like literally, we did a Disney trip.
Yeah.
We got invited on a Disney trip. Like I forget which one it was, but we went to one and it was like literally like I was teaching AP US history, and the kids were like, "You're leaving us for that? The exam is like in 2 weeks," and I'm like, "Yeah." We've gone through everything that we can do. It's just review now, and I've got reviews. Like you've got all the reviews you need. I'm like, I'm sorry. There's nothing more I can teach you. And they're like,
Yeah.
fine.
I'm sorry, we gotta go on a cruise.
Sorry, we got
Yeah.
a Disney cruise. Like, I'm sorry.
There was a teacher who used to teach at my school who she and her husband would go on like a European cruise for 2 weeks in September every year. So it was just like a given she was going to take off 2 weeks in September. So they always had a sub lined up for her. But I was always so jealous. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to go on a European cruise for 2 weeks. That sounds amazing. Well, anyway, okay. So check out the score. Who was the winner?
I feel like we have to be disqualified.
No.
No.
Don't just
If you're
qualify
not
yourself.
cheating, you're not trying, okay?
Stop.
I would literally say that to the kids, like, as a joke during a test.
Oh, my.
And they're like, wait, really? And I'm like, no.
No.
Come on.
All right. With an amazing score of 1.5. That would be me. And the winner of today's game with 3 points, Katie! Yay!
Look at that. See, she was like, I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm going to do. Proceeds to get everything correct.
She's a
This
therapist.
was fun.
That's how she
Yes.
does it. She like reads minds.
Very
man.
intuitive.
Yes.
She's very
Yes.
intuitive.
Gotta set your
Yes.
expectations low.
Oof, that is
And then
not good advice. Don't tell kids that.
now everyone's impressed with me.
Don't tell kids that.
This was super fun. I like this game. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. We would love to have you back sometime.
Yeah,
and good luck
absolutely.
with everything you guys are doing. And yeah, keep in touch for sure.
Will do.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having us, guys.
Awesome. We'll be right back, guys. We are back. So it is time for our special bond of this week. And it's a pretty long one.
Yep.
So let's get right into
And
it.
you're making
Jordan,
me read the long one. Oh no.
take it away.
My 5th grade science teacher, Mr. Teddy, or as we kids called him, Mr. Teddy Bear. Oh, I like that. Mr.
I like
Teddy
that.
Bear.
It's a fun nickname.
I moved out of Colorado after my 5th grade year, but during this year, we were losing multiple family members, and we finally decided to move after my uncle passed away. During the year, we were stressing between leaving or not leaving, when we were going to leave, and so many other things. I always remember Mr. Teddy as a big impact during the year, as he was my comfort teacher. Another reason I will remember him is because towards the end of my 5th grade year, a mother brought her toddler and teenagers to the park that was open to the public outside of school hours. As it was close to the end of the day, it was time for 5th grade recess. We had 2 playgrounds, the one for kindergarten through 2nd grade and the 3rd grade and up, played at the big playground. We were put on lockdown halfway through recess due to the teenagers becoming more and more aggressive with Mr. Teddy, as he told some of them they had to leave. Mind you, these kids should all be in school at this time. After some fists were thrown at Mr. Teddy, we were locked down in this classroom. I don't remember him coming back that day, but I do remember him coming back after a day or two. When we had 5th grade graduation, he was there to celebrate with us. Also, Mr. Teddy gave me Student of the Month for handling the moving situation so well and other reasons.
Wow. Sounds like he was a really big figure in your life. I mean, especially with like going through family members passing away, moving, like those are all major life events.
Yeah, that's big.
And then of course, like going through a lockdown situation, which we all know in the American public school, and not even just public school, in American school systems is just way too common.
Well, I was going to say, we both can speak on that because we both went through it in our middle school year.
Yeah, we did.
And I'll never forget.
Which let me preface by saying, thankfully, it was not due to a shooter situation. So, you know, lockdown was scary enough. I cannot fathom what it feels like to go through that kind of situation.
Yeah.
So, although we were in lockdown for several hours.
Yeah, I think
it was like 4 hours.
I was about to say it was like 4 hours we were in lockdown for.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's always a stressful situation when you have to deal with something like that. So, I mean, kudos to your teacher for keeping you safe. It sounds like, you know, he put you guys first and was really, you know, trying to make sure that you guys were safe. So, and then him coming back for your 5th grade graduation, that's just so special. I remember when I did my student teaching, I student taught a 1st grade class. And then I went back when they were in 4th grade because that was the last grade level at the elementary school before they moved to the middle school. And for my final project in college, we did a time capsule and they buried it in the schoolyard. So at the end of the year, when they were in 4th grade, I came back to the school and they were all grown up. And it was like, made me feel really sad because it was like, it was just, I couldn't believe that that much time had passed already.
I remember when you told me you were going to that, I was like, it hasn't been that long yet.
It has, yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's already been 4 years, dude.
Yeah, I was going to say, it definitely time had passed because when you broke into
3
that
years.
thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So we went back and the newspaper was there and everything because it was like the unveiling of the time capsule.
For the
they came they came when we buried it. So they came again when we dug it back up. And we just a word to the wise, if you're going to bury a time capsule, make sure it's not
biodegradable,
a Tupperware box. Make sure you put it in something that is waterproof because all of their stuff they put in there was all muddy and wet. And it was kind of funny. Like we all were like, ugh. But the kids, like, they got a kick out of it because they got to see all their things they had put in there from first grade.
Most of it did survive.
I know.
Just covered in worms.
Just covered in mud and worms. You know,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Which is funny because that was the class.
Oh my God. We'll save that story. Jordan likes to torment me
Okay.
in joking forms.
Okay, hold on here.
Because you get a kick out of teasing me
Yes.
in loving, fun ways.
Okay.
But we'll have to
We
definitely
will-
tell you guys that this story of the time he
Making sure with our
brought
schedules
worms
being
to my
right.
classroom.
We will share that the next episode.
Yes.
Because I can't sit on that one. That one's just
No,
too
that
funny.
is such a good story. It's hilarious. Okay. So we'll tell that one the next time. But I mean, I'm just glad that you had
Yeah.
a figure that helped you through those really tough times in your life, Soraya. And I wish you all the best. And I hope that you're doing well and your family's well. And yeah, thank you for sharing your special bond.
Thanks, Soraya, for sharing the story with us. And if you have a story you want to share with us, you can email it to us at hello@wearefinepod.com.
Yep.
Yay.
And we also want to know how you think of the show. What do you think about it? Do you like it? Are there things that you want us to include that we haven't included yet?
If you don't like it, it's her fault.
It's
See,
always,
I did
it's
it.
always my
I
fault.
I got it out first, so it's now your fault. Not my
Ah.
fault. Your fault.
Rude.
It's probably my fault. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's nobody's fault. Anywho, is there
Oh,
anyone
there's another one.
is there anyone that you want us to have on the show that we haven't yet? Contact our Human Content family over on Instagram at Human Content Pods, or you can also submit your requests or any kind of reviews and feedback you want to give to hello@wearefinepod.com as well.
All right. Is it time to read names?
Almost.
Almost.
Don't forget, if you want to
Oh.
watch the episode in all its visual glory, then you can head over to my YouTube channel at Mrs. William Fifth to see the full episode there.
That's a cool place to hang out, I heard.
It is. It is a pretty cool
Oh,
place.
that's
I
cool.
hang out there occasionally.
Your name's on the building. I would hope you're there a lot.
I'm there like every 24 hours.
Oh, that's good. So,
Yeah.
is it time to read names now?
It's time to read names.
It's the name reading.
It's the name game. Judy.
Judy,
Babooty.
but all right.
I love that
We-
song.
Okay, I just want to stop because you brought it up. American Horror Story did like the best sequence with that in its Asylum season. I think that was the second season.
Did they?
Yeah. They had a whole it was like a part of an episode. It was a bit where they did the name game.
I don't remember. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I think I do remember this.
It was a cool little sequence. I like that one.
Anyway, thank you to Kevin and Katie McClintock for joining us today. If you guys want to check out their channel and all of their funny, hilarious videos that they make together, you can check them out at Mr. McTikTok on TikTok and Instagram.
So now I read names?
Now we read
Yay!
names.
Do you want to know what this podcast is?
What is it?
It's the We Are Fine podcast.
Wow.
And we're your hosts.
Lauren.
Jordan Woolley, Lauren Woolley.
Oh, I guess I'm Jordan now.
Special thank you to our guests today, Kevin and Katie. And our executive producers are...
Myself, Lauren, and my husband, Jordan
I
Woolley.
thought you were Jordan.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Myself, Jordan, and my... are
Wife?
you my wife?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
my wife,
Yeah, whatever.
Lauren Woolley.
Yay!
Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brooke.
Our editor is Andrew Sims.
Our engineer is Jason Portizo.
And our music is by Omar Bear.
Nope, Omer Benzvi.
Our music is by Omer Benzvi. What are you laughing
AKA Omar Bear.
about? Omer. I'm taking off my
Omer,
coat.
I'm so sorry. To learn about our program disclaimer and ethics policy and submission verification and licensing terms, go to wearefinepod.com or reach out to us at hello@wearefinepod.com with any questions or concerns.
This podcast discusses sensitive and challenging topics, including mental health and personal struggles. If you are in crisis or need someone to talk to, please reach out to the Suicide Hotline at 988, the Suicide in Crisis Lifeline. You are not alone.
We Are Fine is a human content production. Hey, you.
Hey.
I love that shirt you're wearing.
And you know what would go great with that shirt?
What?
A nice big virtual hug. And you can
Aw.
get that by hitting some of these buttons down here. Subscribe, like, comment. We'll give you a big old virtual hug.
Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.